What's going on, everybody? GI, this is UTXJD the Don, and we are going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is another film by Marvel, and I was looking forward to this one. Today we have Ace of all trades. Say what up, Ace?
Yo, what's going on, people?
We have Game Me and Ethos, who's multitasking right now and bragging about his keyboard.
I hear some clicking. You might be hearing me clicking some shit. So,
Always making noise in the background. We have TBH.
Kawhi Leonard is a Raptor now.
And
Sound
our...
like- sounds like-
yeah, is that
How
what
do
you
you
think
know?
rappers
How do
sound
you
like,
know?
bro?
How do you know?
I say Jurassic.
Yeah, because of Jurassic Park, right?
That's what we're doing this video. Okay.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is realistic. All right.
Yes,
Black man.
yes.
Yes, it is. It's
Yes,
a real life
yes, it is.
movie.
Silence.
Inspired by a real event.
You got it.
Oh
Yeah, you
my
made a
God.
cast out the fuck.
And our
Wow,
Patreon, that's funny. And our Patreon backer for today's video, we have Dr. J. So what up, Dr. J?
Julius Irvin.
Hey, what's up?
Scott, man. All right, man. So let's get into Ant-Man and the Wasp. Just a little backstory about this film. This actually takes place during Infinity War, which is it's pretty crazy. Like all while that stuff is going on, this man is on house arrest because of what happened after the events in the Civil War. Captain America. So does not have a suit anymore, or he says he does not have a suit anymore. He's on house arrest with his daughter, and he's just trying to live life. This man got 3 more days before he gets off of house arrest, so he's trying to be on his best behavior. All of a sudden, some things come around. He starts seeing visions and stuff. He's like, what is this? What is going on? All of a sudden, we find out that Hope and her daddy, Dr. Hank, still on the run. Doesn't exactly know where they are. He hasn't had contact with them. Hope is still mad because of the events that he did, that he stole the suit and everything, and then he said that it wasn't there anymore, that he got rid of it. But he ends up getting in contact with them because he starts seeing these visions. He's like, yo, what's going on? I need to see what the hell is going on. So he gets in contact with Hank a little bit, but they already knew what was going on. They knew he was going to get in contact with him, but what really was going down is the mother, Janet. They had a little backstory in the very beginning about what happened to her, how she ended up in the quantum realm, how she was stuck there. They are trying desperately to still get the mother back. So that is the premise of the story before we even get into who the main villain is, which again, she's really not a villain. They have Ava and Ghost, and she is hot. I give you that one. But it kind of brings it back to like the Marvel narrative. Like most of these villains really aren't villains, and I feel like Ghost was like probably the closest to like not even being the villain at all. Like Killmonger, he obviously like he had his thing that he wanted to do with the world, but Ghost just, like, when we ended up getting introduced to her, she just wanted to be a normal human being again after what happened to her. So like with this one, I was really just confused because it really didn't have like a true villain in this one. It was just a person who, for some reason, apparently Janet, the mother, was the key to her getting the strength to be normal again. And I want to talk about that for a second because maybe I missed it. But we're gonna start out with TBH and let me know if you actually caught this or not. Why did Ghost need to sap the energy away from Janet, the mother, in order to become normal? Couldn't she just get some other energy from the quantum realm? Did I miss the part where they explained why Janet was the key?
It wasn't necessarily that Janet was the key. It was just their focus was saving the mom. Now, when she came out, she was like, "Oh shit, I got powers," and then she happened to heal her. It was just one of those. It was just the right place, right time type situation. They didn't like say it, but I guess it was kind of implied. I guess Hank only had one way in, one way out in terms of I would imagine it required a lot of energy to go into the quantum realm. So I guess it's one of those things that's kind of like you got to suspend your disbelief. He only had enough to go once. He couldn't go again. But I mean, eventually, yeah, towards the end, they were able to do it again. But I guess their main focus was just the mom.
Yeah.
As far as you were saying earlier that there wasn't a villain, I'd argue that there was a villain. And it wasn't Ghost. It was Hank Pym. Look at all the people who hate Hank. he's an asshole, and then he betrayed the black man. I just wanted to say that. Anyways, but yeah, I just felt like she was in the right place at the right time. I don't know.
Okay. Etho, did you catch anything that I might have not have caught about the whole situation with Janet and Ghost and why, like, when she was basically just trying to become normal and take the energy, she was sapping it out of Janet?
Yeah, I think they said something along the lines of they needed to pull something out of the quantum realm, and that act of pulling something out would create a lot of energy, and so she could sap that energy, which would have been her mom, that was necessary to pull her out, and then she could basically, like, organize her, what are they, like atoms or whatever?
No, her atoms and cells, yeah.
So I think that's what, because I remember they had a little segment where, like, they were like she was explaining to the black guy,
Larry Fisher.
Yeah, Larry.
Lawrence, if you want to call him.
Well,
that,
not I'm talking about his acting, I'm talking about his name.
I don't remember.
It was Dr. Bill Foster.
Dr. Bill Foster. But she had a conversation with him about when they were bringing up, like, what they were trying to like, well, maybe I can use her energy or whatever it was, because she's been in I think they said something because she was in the quantum realm for so long, she had a lot of energy or something like that, and that would, like, basically help her, but it would kill her in the process when they were, like, trying to pull her out. At least that's what I gathered. I could be wrong though.
Okay. Dr. J, did you catch anything that I might not have caught? Is that what you caught, or did you find anything else that I might have missed about the whole situation?
Ethos is right. So basically, when they was explaining it, it was like she needed energy from the quantum realm or whatever to stabilize her cells, and the quickest way for them to do that was to take the energy from the mom, who was sitting down there for like 30 plus years.
Because she just had a lot of energy in her.
Yeah, because you've been there.
They don't, like, explain why she's able to why she's able to soak up the energy while she's down there.
Yeah.
They just say, oh, well, she's been down there for 30 years. She must have gotten some of the energy, so I'm gonna steal it from her.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Ace, did you feel the same way about that one?
Yeah, Dr. J and Ethos pretty much, I feel like got it on the right side. I mean, she's been there for 30 plus years. She's had the ability to be able to, soak up all this energy. I mean, she even says to Hank that I'm not the same
walking
woman.
Spirit bomb.
Like, I'm not the same woman I was 30 years ago. I've changed. This place has changed you. And she was the one that brought him back when his mind started slipping. So I think Ethos and Dr. J had it on point.
Okay. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Hope. Her and Scott Lang have this little, like, love thing, but obviously because of what he did, they were kind of fell out of love. But during this film, they kind of, got back into love, and she has her Wasp outfit, and obviously, like, Ant-Man was upset because, like, you gave her all this stuff and you didn't give me nothing. But how did you feel about Hope and the Wasp in this particular film? Now that we actually, like, get to see her kicking ass and everything in her Wasp outfit. We'll start with you, Ace.
I mean, we saw it. We saw remnants of it in the first film with Ant-Man, and being able that Hope was the one that trained him. And we knew she was gonna kick ass and everything like that, but also what that happened to her mother is the reason why she wasn't Ant-Man off the rip. So it makes sense, and I thought it was good to see her. I think she added a lot to the film itself, and I ain't gonna lie, she was badass until Ghost fucked her up. But other than that, she was putting in work. She was like, "You gonna regret this? Just go ahead and take that money and let me just get my part and let me be out." Oh boy, had to catch the hands, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hope.
Okay. Dr. J, how'd you feel about Hope Van Dyke in this film?
She was cool. I gotta be honest, I didn't like Hope and Hank through this whole movie. Mostly because,
and why is that?
So mostly because the fact that they were on the Ant-Man the whole fucking movie, right? And they're like, "Oh, you're selfish because you don't want to help us," but they don't try to help him or anything. They're mad at him the whole movie, but they don't try to help him. He's about to go away he's risking his future with his daughter for them, and they're like, "Oh well, we still want you to help save my mom."
So you're saying that they were selfish and they didn't really care about his well-being. They just cared about getting their the mother back.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, you can counter that though, because Scott was the one that stole the suit, put them in the situation that they were in originally, and due to the Accords, if he wouldn't have went over to help Captain America, because remember he thought about himself and he was so starstruck over Captain America, they wouldn't have been in the position where they're in now. So that's why they feel the way they do. Plus, after they found out that he was able to go back to the realm and back, that's what really started off Hank thinking, wow, I really might be able to see his wife again. And y'all know how it was in the first movie. That was the whole point of, of losing his wife and him putting the suit away and all of that. So, I mean, you can counter that argument.
It's true. I agree with you on that one, but I also agree with Dr. J. They were like extremely selfish about that, and who knows, man? Like maybe if Scott didn't have those visions of Janet reaching out to him, which that was a funny part too. When we found out more about like how she was doing that stuff. But maybe like if he didn't get those visions, like do you think that he still would have even reached out to them? Because he might have not. He might have just like stayed the 3 days and then like just successfully got off, and then that would have been it. I don't know if you actually would have even gotten in contact with Hank and Hope after that, as we'll never know. Ethos, how'd you feel about Hope in this one?
She's hot.
Hot.
That's all I gotta say. She's hot.
Okay.
I let her.
Is she hotter than Ghost though?
No.
That's why I was have to say no too.
I might have to judge you.
It depends. They different. I like it for different
Because
reasons.
Ghost's a cold-blooded killer.
Look, they both.
See,
both
this is
can,
the problem with the male patriarch. These are
Yeah.
supposed to be kick-ass
They're both
women,
hot.
and you're just sexualizing them, okay?
No, I'm
It's
not
Ant-Man and the
sexualizing
Wasp,
them.
okay?
I'm
Respect
not
them, okay?
sexualizing them. I'm just saying they're
Keep
hot.
your male
They-
fantasies at the door.
That's
Wasp and Ant-Man, okay? Jesus.
That's
the
a
woman
positive
lead.
trait because I loved her in the movie way more than I liked Scott. Because I never really liked Scott, to be honest. I do like his Mexican friend, but I
Scott
never
is
liked
funny as
Oh,
fuck,
you don't
bro.
like Scott? Okay,
I
now we
don't
get
like
to the.
Scott. Scott is very generic in my mind as a character.
He's funny, bro. He's funny.
He's not as funny as the other people. Like Spider-Man is way funnier than him, but like he's just
Which Spider-Man?
Right.
The good one, Tom Holland.
all of them.
True. The real Spider-Man. True.
Better get over
I don't
Toby
know about
Maguire.
all
Tom in the building.
Hey, wait, I just want to make sure. I wanted to make sure.
I don't care. Toby will always be my Spider-Man, bro.
True, facts.
Spider-Man 3.
I don't care. This is not an argument about Spider-Man.
Yeah, we can move on to another. We move on to another topic.
Spider-Man
Rich.
three.
I'm here to
It's
talk
all
about
related.
Spider-Man. You're going off the rails. I'm trying to stay on topic.
Okay, but you said Hope is hot. All right.
Yeah.
And you don't like.
Fine.
You didn't like
I like
Scott.
her new outfit. Her fighting scenes were the best, and she's kick-ass. And I let her beat my ass any day. Facts.
Oh, all right. Well, all right, T-Bage, how do you feel about Hope in this film?
Besides the obvious of what Ethos stated, I like Hope more than actual Ant-Man, just because I think she does a better job of actually showing the skill set of an
Facts.
Ant-Man. Do they call it an Ant-Man costume? Like, what do they call their costumes?
Hers is the Wasp.
Okay, so whatever their streaking costume, she shows the more potential with it. Like Scott's just an idiot. He just grows big and then he tries to stump you, or he just
Facts.
goes really small and he dodges. Like she was doing creative shit when she was dodging and running on the knife, and then she
Facts.
threw the salt pepper.
She was
and,
comboing.
Like she's an expert. She knows how to use her.
Yeah.
her
she
costume.
understood the full potential of the suit, so I appreciate her more than Ant-Man. She's clearly the muscle of the group. Like Scott's just there. Like Scott's just walking good luck. That's all he is.
Comedic effect.
Yeah,
That's
he's the
all he
comedic
is.
effect.
I would
He's
say.
Dexter.
I would say in his defense, in this film, he got a messed up suit, so he was having a lot
That
of
was funny
problems.
when
No, that is
And
true.
that played a role, a huge role.
Yeah,
He's
because
still an idiot though. He wouldn't have been that creative.
Yeah.
Of course, remember, listen, he became Ant-Man because he broke into Hank's house. Let's
right,
be real.
right. That's
what it
really the
really
whole way.
is.
Yeah,
Technically, Ace, he put it back. He didn't want
he
it.
did put it
Still
back.
broke
but-
in. Yeah,
And he broke back and to give it back.
Oh my god. Oh,
I wouldn't say he wanted to be Ant-Man.
But no, Hope is cool. I was like the whole time the movie was playing, I was just sitting there thinking like I like to see how she would interact with the greater Marvel universe in the films.
I think she would probably be like
I'd
extremely
rather see
useful
her more.
rather than Sky.
Like the Okoye of America.
Just imagine if the Wasp got called in Civil War instead of Scott.
Yeah, I feel
It
like she would have
would've
been very
went
helpful. She would
They
have
were
shrunk down and
they
took
were
the aliens
they
out.
were supposed to go together, and that's another reason why she was upset.
She
And
did
said
want to
that
go with him. Yeah, she
Yeah,
did say that.
said
She did want to
said
go.
that towards the end, and he was like, "Oh, I love you so much." That's pretty sure that's what it was.
I didn't
and
want to
that's
put
why
you in
he didn't
danger.
wanna
Blah
go.
blah blah. I love you.
Yeah, but yeah, no, she would have went with him. Oh yeah, they would have kicked some ass for real.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Beat that nigga Tony Stark, boy.
So, question.
Yeah.
Would you like to see like Ant-Man get better, like over the you wouldn't like to see Ant-Man get better with the suit over the next movies?
Let him die.
Yeah, he's gotta get
Wow,
better. I feel
okay.
like he needs combat training
Nah,
too.
screw her. Screw him. Let him die.
Wow. Well, we gonna talk about why. I mean, why that's not even gonna be possible. I mean, unless like something drastic happens. But we gonna talk about that toward the end.
They gotta be better.
Since we know, yeah, since we know what happened. So let's move on. Let's talk about Ava / Ghost. A little bit of her backstory. Her father was working on a quantum project. The shit blew up, and they tried to save her, but she ended up catching the side effects of it. So she basically is going through realms. She's like Slipstream through everything. So
She's Tracer, but without
yeah, she kind of like Tracer, but she can't really control it. But what happened is Dr. Bill Foster, he took her in once he saw what was going on with her. Let's talk about Bill Foster a little bit too. Bill Foster and Hank were working together in their early days, but due to apparently egos and stuff, they ended up having a falling out. And Bill Foster was definitely like very, very salty about that. And yeah.
I was kind of confused. So, was Hank actually like a dickhead? Like, did he actually do what all those things that Ava's said he did
was
to
a
his
dickhead.
father?
Yeah,
Or
that's
was
why the
it-
black dude betrayed him.
Yeah,
No,
He discredited him.
No,
and all that
I'm
shit.
saying they never
They never
explained
gave
if-
100% facts whether
Yeah,
that happened or not. It was
facts on
just he
whether
say,
her
she
father
say.
was a traitor or not.
Oh, okay.
Like they just like, oh no, his father was trying to betray Shield, and then on the other hand, Ava was like, nah, you took his research and you discredited him, and they never really like.
Bro, that's some dirty ass shit, bro. Hey, we worked on this together, but then like
Yeah, he
I'm
did
gonna
say
get
Bill.
you
Yeah,
fired,
Bill
and
sold
then
out.
I'm gonna take your work for myself. That's
Well,
Bro,
see, that's
that's-
the thing. That's the thing, though. That we don't know if that's a fact or not. Like, we don't know if he took it because that dude was gonna like use it for something else, and he was like, "Nah, bro, you can't do that," or if he really did plagiarize this shit and steal it and then discredit him. That's what I don't.
Yeah, I didn't catch whether
He
that was
never-
100%
that's
true or
what's-
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they never like say like, okay, yeah, Hank was wrong, or oh no, Hank was right. They
I'm
never,
gonna keep it 100 with you. The moment Lawrence Fishburne's character appeared on screen, all I could think about was Montana Fishburne and that time she appeared on World Star with like leprosy on her vagina and shit. Like,
What are you?
but it just really bothered me. It
What
really
are you
bothered me. I would argue Montana Fishburne.
What
was
are
the
you-
villain.
No, hear me. No, hear me out. For
No,
once,
my
I'm
God.
actually with TBH on this one.
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
see Lawrence
I can't.
Fishburne in another light now, bro.
You just can't help but laugh. Like, damn,
What are
Lawrence,
y'all
your
talking
daughter's
about?
disgusting.
I'm sorry, dog. That crossed my mind, man. That did cross my mind. I'm like,
Oh
bruh,
my
this is
God.
ruining my movie
Leprosy,
experience.
bruh.
Y'all need help.
It was on World Star. You couldn't miss it, bro.
Y'all need help. I
But anyways, continuing on, Dr. Bill Foster wanted to help go, so he needed basically what the same technology, the same equipment that Hank and Hope had in order to try to save Ghost. What ended up happening to her, she ended up turning into a damn military experiment. They gave her a suit and taught her everything, so she was out there being a super assassin that nobody can touch. So that's why she got the name Ghost. She could slip through everything, and basically nobody could touch her until Hope and Scott ended up coming into the picture and kind of getting with her, but she was still like superior to them just because of the fact that like you could barely even touch her, and she could like barely even control her own powers even with the suit. So that's what happened to her. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, Ava just wanted to become a normal human being again. That was really it. And just because Bill Foster was like, yo, I know who has what we need, and we need to get to the quantum realm and get the energy to make you normal again. That was their only purpose for real. Like, Ghost didn't care about anything else. Bill ended up getting kind of a conscience towards the end. He was like, nah, like, I'm not trying to see you hurt anybody or kill Janet, because I'm trying to see Janet too, and maybe what they're talking about, what Hank and Hope were talking about when they get Janet out, maybe she can help you. And Ghost wasn't having it until the end, when he ended up coming through and saving once like they were about to come back. Once Hank ended up going to the quantum realm to get his mother back. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Ghost. We're gonna start off with you, Ethos. How did you feel about her character?
About who?
Ghost, Ava.
She's hot.
This
And
nigga
I let her beat my ass.
I agree.
And she was a good character. I mean, she's not the best villain, to be honest with you, but she's not horrible. So I guess she's aight. She's hot.
Can you stop?
That's pretty much it.
I would say,
I'm really trying to remember like any other shit about her, but I really don't remember.
It was
saying
really
that she was
few and far between.
She's hot, but she was really good at making ugly faces. So that means she's a good actor.
Yeah.
She
She's a good
looked
actor.
very evil.
She definitely was good.
She looked very evil. She was
I
hot.
think she played the role very well. I
She
kind of
played
wish
her
we would have.
role. It's just she literally is coming off of Thanos and Killmonger, and it's like,
It's hard to follow that.
Yeah, you can't.
Very
Yeah,
hard
you
to
can't
top
really.
Yeah. I mean, of course, but I'm not even comparing them to them. I just kind of wish we kind of learned a little bit more of the character, not just her, like what happened to her when she was young, but just like go back in some of those missions that when they did train her to be a weapon, to see what she did when she first started and everything like that, just to give her a little bit more backstory and see more action with her. Because when you think about it, she wasn't really on the film. I mean, on the screen that much, and if she was, it was just for a little moment, then it just cut away. But,
Yeah, I wish they.
It honestly felt like Black Lightning. Like it was multiple villains just all over the place. They were tugging each other different ways. Her power was cool. She was like Kalari from Paragon.
But
remember that game?
Yeah, we unfortunately.
Yeah, she's Kalari.
It was just one of those things, like, cause I didn't get like for the first Ant-Man, we go through, you get this backstory of Scott and everything like that, but you have some fighting scenes and whatnot. On this one, I've always felt like Ant-Man was on more lighthearted jokes and everything like that compared to all the other Marvel movies. I didn't come to Ant-Man movies to think of action. I just thought of funny moments, a couple action scenes here and there, a good story, and then that's pretty much it.
They didn't rob anybody, did they?
Well, no, because remember they turned
Nah.
legit. They got a security. They have a security company.
I wish they robbed somebody.
They're trying to
Am
get
I the
out of
only-
there, man.
Am I speaking of the security one? Am I the only one that I felt like in the first one, the Mexican dude, he was fucking hilarious. Like this time around, I felt like he was doing too much.
I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention that. No, we're gonna talk about that a little bit
It
later.
just
Once
wasn't
we
as
get,
funny to me.
I agree.
It was kind of cringy. It was like, we get it, you're Mexican, bro. Like it was like, if I was a Mexican, I'd feel some type of way.
yeah, the comedic value of Louise kind of went down. I was definitely about to mention that. But before we get to that, Dr. J, how'd you feel about Ghost in this film?
She was cool. Actually, I would say that I enjoyed her fight scenes the best. Like, I just think her powers are really interesting.
Mm.
I feel that.
Okay, yeah, because she was superior. Her fight scenes were really good, especially with her and Hope. They were definitely going at it, and Hope were trying to use her powers in her suit and try to best Ghost, but she got it in the end. But I agree with you. The fight scenes were top notch on that one. So let's get to what TBH is talking about. The comedic value of Luis and T.I. and in Usman, I think is what the
I'd
other guy
argue
named
they
in
gave
security.
Luis more screen time than Ghost. When I think about it,
Yeah, they might have. Like,
he works in spurts, but it was just too much for me. Like I was like, it's not funny.
I thought that
No,
Luis
he
was
funny.
absolutely hilarious in the first one. This one definitely not as much. I feel like the best scene to me was when they gave him the truth serum and
That
he was
shit was
arguing
fun,
that and and going through that whole story.
I gotta just do it, man. You gotta let him talk.
Yeah, it's not true.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was the funniest scene to me. But yeah, he wasn't as funny. I was actually expecting a lot more in this one, and they just didn't give it to me as far as the dialogue, the script in this one. So, Ethos, you feel the same way
About
the comedic value, or just talk about Luis?
Yeah, I mean, he was I wouldn't say I got annoyed with him, but I would say like felt like sometimes he was just doing the most, where it was just like,
Yeah, it wasn't annoyed. It was more cringe at certain points.
he reminded me of like, he's literally that the joke of like, hi, I'm helping. Like, he was just trying the most to help, and I was like, bro, kind of out your lead, bro. It's okay. Like, you don't gotta prove anything. Yeah, I don't think he was as funny as he was in the first movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's because they kind of just reused his jokes and style that they did in the first movie, and they didn't really like try a different type of like joke. They
didn't expand on it.
Yeah, let's just copy exactly the jokes that we made in the first movie and then put them in and make them repeat them in the second one. It's like, okay.
So it was the dialogue and the writing. It's not really his fault, but like when the dialogue and the writing isn't there, all you have left is that Mexican accent, and it comes across as slightly offensive.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're just gonna make because of his accent. That's what makes him funny.
Yeah, they were leaning too much on a stereotype versus actual script.
Yeah, of his actual like joke.
Okay. Dr. J, how'd you feel about Luis?
Eh.
That's it.
It's a mess.
Like, I agree with everything you said. Like I think the only time I really laughed at him was the whole little flashback thing when he first met Ant-Man. Other than that, it was just like, let me hurry up and let me go to the next scene. I'm tired of you.
Okay. Ace, how'd you feel about Luis this time?
I mean, I thought he was funny. I can understand where you guys are coming from. Maybe you expected a little bit more out of him since like he played a funny comedic role last movie, and so maybe in that respect, that he just came off. I wouldn't necessarily say cringy like TBH said, but maybe it was just like, okay, like you're playing this role like how you did last time. It just wasn't as funny to you. But I definitely do think that, I mean, like you said, it wasn't his fault. I didn't necessarily have a problem with it. It was just like, meh, all right.
Okay. All right, and I want to kind of take back what I said about this movie not having a villain, because Ghost, I feel like Ghost really wasn't the villain in this one. The real villain was, unfortunately, Sonny Birch, the Southern man who apparently had ties to the FBI and the black market and everything. Yeah, he was annoying as fuck, but he was the real villain because he just wanted money at the end of the day. He wanted the materials. He wanted the quantum technology. Who knows what he wanted to do with it, but
generic ass villain.
Yeah, he was hella generic, but
one of their worst villain.
Yeah.
So can I be honest with y'all? I could not help but just keep thinking of the Hateful Eight. Has anybody seen that movie? Because he's in the role, and that's all I thought of his character the entire time.
Wait, that was the one with Samuel Jackson.
Yep, that's the same.
Yeah,
one.
that's him.
The racist white dude, right?
Yep, same
That's
accent, saying everything. And
that was a good point. He played the same exact character.
Played the same exact character. This time around, he was in this time zone. I mean, in this time, and then he,
time zone.
Is the Hateful Eight and the MCU connected?
Does that mean Quentin Tarantino's working? No, he's gonna make the next Avengers. Rated R.
Oh man.
Saying the N-word every 5 seconds. That's great.
Right.
Good job, Marvel.
Exactly.
Good job, Marvel. That ain't gonna happen.
He's gonna find a way to get N-word in there.
He'll find a way.
My God.
He slipped up one good time when he was fighting or something like that when he saw a ghost. I said like, fuck that nigga.
Hey, Ace, we're gonna get demonetized now.
Stop it, man. Stop it. Anyway, Steve, how do you feel about Sonny in this one?
He was just there. Like he was your stereotypical 80s businessman villain, like from Futurama. I don't know if y'all remember that episode.
Yeah.
That's what he was to me. They just put a Southern accent on him.
Yeah, I just felt like he was just like, I didn't think that he was going to like be that persistent, like when she went to do the deal in the first place. And I'm like, oh, here we go. All right, you just want the money. So he's like, all right, I'm not going to give you this. And I'm going to take the money and you need to go think about it. And then the fight ended up breaking out. And then he was just being so persistent and trying to get this facility, this lab, just for his own selfish desire. So I was just like, whatever, like you're just there. You're like a freaking mosquito or something.
Which makes me double down on what I said earlier about it being like Black Lightning. Because now that I think about it, you throw the Southern dude in there, Ghost, and then also the police, because the police were a villain in this movie.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of things going on, and they were all just playing tug of war. That's why it kind of felt like Black Lightning.
And none of them, it's like a jack of all trades, and none of them were like really.
None of them, really like prevailed.
Like, cause I thought Ghost was gonna be like something serious, like from the trailers, but I was like,
a side person.
Yeah, I was just like, you're just there. You don't really want anything, but to.
He's inconsequential to like the MCU as a whole. She's just like, okay, cool. That's
Can we?
Again, this is just because the last two villains were just so much better, and they had and they're just their pool of what they could have done in the MCU, or obviously what someone did in the MCU bigger than the others.
True. Dr. J, how'd you feel about Sonny? Yeah, I ain't like him either. No, go ahead.
He was, for the most part, he was just there. Like, I found him like funny, and like the fact that he was, even though he was a villain, he was just like, he was almost like a comedic relief villain, not really a threat.
I felt like his homeboy who had the truth serum was the funniest one, just because of that
funny.
ending part where he was like, oh, this is truth serum.
Right. They were singing like canaries, boy.
Yeah, they were definitely telling it all. So yeah, I definitely agree. Like he was just man, he was just there. So let's, again, we already talked about like kind of what happened in the end before we get to the what really matters here in this film. But again, at the end, Hank went to the quantum realm. He almost ended up losing his damn mind in the situation. Before that even happens, I forgot to mention, again, Scott was he was basically getting these visions from Janet. Janet ended up basically being an antenna and using Scott in order to communicate. And while they were trying desperately to figure out like what are the best coordinates in order to find Janet, she ended up taking control of Scott's body to basically figure out what's going on, because she's been there, so she knew exactly where she was. So I found that part funny. And again, Scott Lang was just more like comedic relief rather than like an actual badass, like Ito said. But that ended up happening, and through all of that, Hank ended up taking the risk to go in the quantum realm. He almost lost his mind, but Janet ended up finding him. They ended up getting back. Through that, Ghost ended up taking over for a second, and she almost ended up basically seeping all of the powers with the life force out of Janet. But they ended up saving the day. Janet ended up coming back. They ended up saving her, and she ended up using her special powers that she found in the quantum realm to save Ava. So now she's going to be a regular person again. While they're all trying to get away from the situation, Bill and Ghost ended up dipping off. Ghost was about to leave Bill, but he was like, no, I'm with you, I'm not leaving you. So I don't know what's going to happen to them, but they ended up escaping. Scott, of course, is good now. Through all that comedic relief, again, with the police constantly trying to come back because they thought that he was gone, and all of a sudden he keeps showing back up saying, oh, I was here the whole time. They ended up, again, kind of being a villain, but it was just more a comedic value on that one as well. So everything's all good in the hood. What they ended up doing in the end, though, the first post-credit cut scene, they were trying to siphon more quantum energy. So now that they know how to get in and out of the quantum realm with no issues, they sent Scott Lang back in the quantum realm to get some energy. While they were doing that, Scott was like, can I come back? Like, I got the energy. What's good? All of a sudden, we see Hank and Hope get deleted, bruh. Cause like I said, yeah, all of them, bruh.
All three of them.
Everybody's gone except for Scott because he was still in the quantum realm. So like I said before, this film takes place during Infinity War. He was doing everything during this, and all of a sudden Thanos snapped his fingers. Everybody's gone except for Scott. So that's how we ended. Scott Lang is still in the quantum realm. We're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Now, I'll tell you my theory, because as soon as I found out what Janet can do and what this quantum energy can do,
she had to die.
I mean, that's not what I was about to say, but I mean, she is powerful. But what I was about to say is, I think that somehow they were going to use either the quantum realm or the quantum energy to somehow bring everybody back once they found out what was going on. But as soon as everybody else got deleted, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what's going to happen now. How is Ant-Man going to get back?
Who are you talking about? Bring who back?
Everybody else who got deleted. I think that they were going to use a quantum.
No. When they got deleted, they were in Wakanda at the same exact time. And then what's the name? Like they were getting the energy to heal the black.
I know that. I'm saying for the next Avengers film. I'm not talking about.
Oh, okay.
Obviously they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on because it was the same timeline. I'm saying in the future, in the next Avengers, that's what my theory. as how they're gonna bring people back.
Yeah, they're gonna pull him out the quantum realm somehow, and basically he has the power of life himself. He's gonna find a way to heal people or some shit like that.
That was my theory once I found out about that.
I think he's gonna use the quantum realm. They're gonna reverse time, so they're gonna go back to before the snap. And I have a strong feeling they're gonna throw the Avengers inside the quantum realm, so then they won't be affected by it, and then they'll be able to come out of it and then stop them.
So somehow get the time stone and go back. Or you saying even without that?
I think the quantum realm, it transcends time, so I think
it does. They said that.
Yeah, it does.
However they pull him out of the quantum realm, I think it's going to disrupt the time stream, and he's going to be in a different, like either in an alternate universe or he's going to be in the time before the snap. And so they're going to use him with Captain Marvel, because I know it's going to revolve with Captain Marvel. Either they're going to like pull her with him, or she's going to pull him out of the quantum realm, which might be the case.
It's almost like a time stream, depending where he jumps out.
Yeah,
that's
like
the time period.
Oh, because they said that Captain Marvel, they're going to have that in the 90s, right?
If he runs directly back to where he came in, he would end up where he came in from. But if he jumps off to the left, he'd be in a different time period, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so it could be either it's gonna be like multiverse theory, it's gonna be an alternate possible, or they're gonna go back into, so it could end up like
they do the multiverse.
Earth 2, baby.
Or, it'll be like but that's mostly DC's things. I doubt they'll do that. They might
not do that shit. They can do it better.
I mean, it's good. Like multiverse in DC is really good. Like the things you can do with it, but I don't think
Justice 2 was dope.
It's gonna get too complicated, I think, for like just a regular viewer to keep up with all that. I think they're just gonna make it simple and just like do just the time, go back, return to the past. They're gonna do a tracer thing.
I hope so, cause now my theory has changed. I think it makes more sense now than just using one of the stones. I was saying that they were going to use the Soul Stone in Infinity War to bring everybody back, but I think that this one makes more sense now for him to just go back in time or do something with the quantum realm in order to save everybody.
They need what's her name? What's the mom's name? Janet.
Yeah.
They need Janet, because Janet's basically, me and my roommate were talking about it, and he was telling me, just from a writing standpoint, Janet is basically a Deus Ex Machina mechanic, and so she's kind of basically God tier broken. Yeah, she's very broken from like what she's able to do because of how long. Because they
didn't even explain what she could do. She just said, "I changed."
So like she's basically the equivalent of what I've said about like Infinity War, how they use Doctor Strange to just like deny any type of like common sense counter to like any type of like, oh, this could have definitely stopped them.
Yeah, because he could have fucked shit up, but he was like, well, all right.
Like everybody can make there's multiple arguments you can make about like, oh, they could have just done this and this would have been fine, but they'll just bring the whole, whoa, Doctor Strange said it, so it's just a plot type device they use to cover their ass. And I think Janet is they're gonna bring Janet back. And because Janet stated that because she was in the quantum realm for 30 years, she basically said, I evolved. So
she knows something, basically. That
she knows some sort of god tier level of like some sort of power. And I'm guessing with that and Captain Marvel's power, it's going to be something very OP that can kill Thanos.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. We having this conversation, and I'm not going to lie. Up until this point that we're talking about where everybody disappeared and he's stuck in the quantum realm, I'm sitting here thinking like, what the fuck is the point of this movie? Like,
it was very simple. Now that I think about it, like it was
really
very
served
simple.
No real purpose other than him getting stuck in the quantum realm.
The only thing you want the movie for is literally just the ending cutscenes. That was something I realized when I was like, when I was
the ending
in the car heading back, was like, the movie's fine, but like the Ant-Man movies have always been just like, okay, these are solid, but like this one was just like, all you really care about is the last two cutscenes.
And we talk about how during that entire time, this is going on during the same shit that's going down in New York City. None of them were aware of all this or anything like that at all.
That was the same argument I had with my roommates. I was like, you tell me none of them like
y'all look at the news,
Well, no, the funny thing is, like, during this time, like, it was fact that Thanos' people were attacking different parts of the country.
Exactly. Where were they at, San Fran?
Like,
especially
I don't
because he was
understand.
on house arrest watching TV all day.
The FBI definitely would have brought it up. At least they would have been aware of this stuff happening.
Some type of hint to it.
Yeah, and then Wakanda definitely was like, it was a big deal because now they were revealed to the world. So they definitely should have known about like that big and massive battle that happened. And my whole thought pattern was, he goes the first time to protect Cap. They're now quote unquote free. And then if you find out about this massive event that basically is life changing, and basically one of my friends argued was like, well, he cares more about his daughter. But then I said, but if you have a threat like Thanos who basically wipe out your daughter, Ant-Man would be there in a heartbeat to help them, but they just act like it never
The only
happened.
argument I can make is because it takes place in the exact timeline. Nobody really knew how powerful Thanos was until he pulled up.
Yeah, but they're
still being attacked.
Because remember, he didn't have all the stones until the very end of the movie.
He did only pull up, and as far as the world, Earth, he only pulled up in Wakanda. It's not like he showed up specifically in multiple places. It was his children that pulled up in multiple. Yeah, and it was isolated. It was still isolated back then.
They know Wakanda exists, but they can't see Wakanda on the map, though.
They can, because after they reveal themselves to the world, they know where it's located now. It's weird.
You still can't get in.
They can't see it though.
It's invisible. Like they have to knock basically.
Yeah, exactly. They can know the coordinates and everything like that, but they not actually.
But this still doesn't defeat the fact of how when his people started attacking, they attacked in London, they attacked in
New York.
Yeah. You're right.
New York was like in the public, like everyone saw that shit. So there's no way. If you're in they were in Cali when this happened. So if
they
you're
were in
Cali,
San Fran.
Yeah, they would have known. They should.
You see, Iron Man just got slingshotted up into space, and now he's gone. I think the first reaction would be was holy shit, I need to reach out to the Avengers and figure out what's going on. And all of them act oblivious to all these things that are going on. And I feel like it just it irked me. It was like, this doesn't fit it doesn't fit.
So that plot didn't make sense.
Can we talk about this real quick? If you remember the ending of Civil War, you remember Cap came back to rescue them. So how the fuck did Scott Lang end up not getting, just escaping and just being on the run compared to everybody else? So did he say, hey, I'm just gonna stay because of my daughter and hopefully I can take a plea deal? Or
he did take a plea deal. He did take a plea deal. He said that.
So that must mean that he got left behind, because remember, they alluded to him freeing everybody, because we saw everybody but Scott.
But I think you answered your own question. He ended up going back to his daughter is in San Fran, so he went back. He didn't go. He didn't go on the run.
He couldn't be on the run. He couldn't be on the run.
He didn't go on the run. Yeah, he can't do that. He had a whole family. Why do you think that Hawkeye ended up going back?
No, my question is, do you think that he got freed? He did go and just went back to San Fran.
Yes.
FBI came there and it was like, yo, look.
You gotta look at it from his perspective, Ace. Everybody else that Cap freed, they were heroes up until that point. Yeah. Scott was a convicted felon, fam. So he's like, damn, and the FBI.
Yeah, he was still a felon, because he was a robber.
He was like a 3-time felon at that point. He's like,
right. He's in a different situation. He wasn't. Okay, he didn't have a clean slate. Yeah, he didn't have a clean slate before.
That man had real life issues.
Right. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he.
He said, I don't have all these superhero problems, bro. I got real life.
Yeah, keep in mind, Scott Lang. Yeah, Scott Lang is only he's still technically really not a superhero. He just got the suit. Yeah, he's not at all.
To the house. I keep saying that.
He did some favors for Hank, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So is he Batman?
No.
Batman has money in the suit?
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
He's not.
Batman don't go around robbing.
Not even the same situation, bro. Not even.
He doesn't cry over his parents.
Wow.
All right.
So we've been talking a long time. Dr. J, any thoughts on the first post-credit scene, and do you have any theories on what might happen in the next Avengers?
I'm not really even sure. After hearing all the things y'all saying, I didn't even think about anything like that. I was just thinking, so he's, because in the first Ant-Man movie, he's already been to the quantum realm.
Right.
So I was thinking oh well, can't he just grow out of it like he did
he did the first time? I was thinking about that too.
But I didn't, like I said, I didn't even think about how Janet plays into it or anything. So you gave me a lot to think about.
Okay. Yeah, because he could maybe do that. Maybe they'll just make it simple and just have Scott do it all. Maybe Scott, with the quantum energy that he just got, maybe he'll figure out a way to do it himself instead of needing Janet as plot armor.
Nah, he's an idiot.
I mean, he is an idiot, but maybe,
Something interesting, and just a note. I just checked just a wiki really quick about the quantum realm just to check for something for MCU specific, and I didn't know this, but apparently you can do mystical teleportation with it. You can go.
Keep in mind they don't follow the comic books, bro, because the Ghost in the comic books is completely.
No. This is MCU. This is MCU based.
Okay.
Yeah. I made sure it wasn't because I know a lot of people are like, well, in the comics they did.
They always do that, but
they break the rules of the comics so many times.
All the time.
Because I used to use argument about with the comics, and I'm like, oh, well, they dumb down all the characters, and then they
make the MCU. It's different.
Yeah, so it's it's not even insane.
So teleportation, huh?
So apparently, Doctor Strange can go to this realm.
That makes sense.
He's magic, remember?
Did he got snapped, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Okay,
But he's magic. He can come back.
Well, he didn't die from the snap. He died before then.
Anything's possible with magic.
Damn, I forgot how he died.
Well, actually, no, he did die from the snap. Never mind, because he was just sitting there. He was sitting there and gave him the song.
I was thinking because in the second scene, they just had the ant playing the drums, and I was thinking maybe. I was thinking maybe because he has his suit on, maybe he can find a way to communicate with the ants to pull him out of the damn quantum realm.
I was thinking that too. I didn't think that was important though.
Because I'm like, why else would they show these ants? Like,
yeah, that's not a bad thing.
That could be another theory though.
How to control them. That's a good theory.
Yeah, he can control them.
The ants don't have the power to enter the quantum realm.
Maybe they had the power to control the device so that they were
power to tell them where they are, and he could maybe be like, "Yo, there's a suit in the lab. Put it on. Come get me, Andy." I don't know.
No, it could be.
Put an ant in a suit.
No, it could be simpler than that. It could be simpler than that.
It was a portable one. Remember that it was a portable.
That's what I'm about to say.
Don't underestimate the intelligence of those ants.
No, the ants are hella smart
throughout the movie.
Well, the hell is smart.
Hank had the ants building his.
I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying I don't think his suit can go through the quantum realm to the real world and tell them to do something. Like, I don't think the signal will.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if the signal will go that far.
Yeah,
that was
the signal did.
No, because when Hank was in there, when Hank was in there, they could communicate with him.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it does work because he was asking for Hank and the
it was just when Hank got to a certain point. Yeah, as he got further in the quantum realm, then the signal was lost. But I don't think that Scott went too far to get that energy, so they could help him.
I don't know about that. That's gonna be
also remember when Hank went to the quantum realm to rescue the wife, he kept saying, "Yo, what the fuck is going on out there?" And nobody was answering because remember they were fighting.
Right.
So they can talk to people on Earth.
Yeah.
They had special suits.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. That could be a possibility too. Maybe that was important because I thought that was comedic relief in the second post credits scene. I was just like, whatever. Like I thought that they were just trying to like tell us that okay, the ant didn't get snapped, the ant didn't die, but everybody else died.
And he's just a troll.
Yeah, and they still playing the drums.
He literally does the drum joke. They'd be like, there's nothing. Like,
right. It was like, hi, surprise. Yeah.
Y'all think too deep about it. They're just fucking ants.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But again, I mean, I didn't think about that. That could be a possibility. Maybe he could use an ant to get back out. So, I guess we will have to see. We will have to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So we're gonna go to the scores in the round table. Ace, we're gonna start off with you. What do you give Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I give Ant-Man and the Wasp a solid 8.
An 8. Okay.
I give it a solid 8.
All right, Dr. J, what are we giving Ant-Man and the Wasp?
7.5.
7.5. Ethos.
I was gonna give this shit an 8, but now that I think about it, and the shit that we brought up about how like really the whole movie's pointless, exactly. I gotta give it a 7 because the whole movie is basically pointless, which is kind of sucks, but whatever.
Okay, TBH.
Let's see. It wasn't as funny as the last one. The movie was honestly pointless up until the last 5 minutes, and there was no real villain. So. If it wasn't for the last 5 minutes with the finger snap, that was really dope. How they intertwined the stories, I would have gave it a 6.5, but I'll give it a 7. The ending saved the movie for me. It was a 7.
Okay, yeah, I would say that probably again the most important part was the first post-credit scene. Yeah, it was like so damn fast. It was like, oh shit, like this happened, and like everybody in my movie theater was freaking out and stuff. I will give it a 7 as well because of that, but I definitely did not like it as much as I did the first Ant-Man. I thought that the first Ant-Man was underrated and super duper funny, but I was expecting a lot more in this one. Even the critics, I don't know if y'all read any reviews before y'all saw it or read them after, but they said that this film is so important to the Avengers, and I was like, but I didn't see anything until the end.
The last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes. So what are you talking about? This is very important. I would argue that it's not. Like that was the only thing that y'all really showed us that
it felt like
tied
anime
in.
filler. That's all this shit was.
The only thing I give it credit for is like I say it's kind of bold to be like you made your characters spend like basically an entire chunk of their lives hunting for this important woman, and the moment they get her back, she immediately gets clapped. which I think is
That
kind of
was
bold. But
yeah, that was.
That's why I think why like that scene's kind of like holy shit. Because like honestly, I thought she was gonna be the last one to be survived. Like her and Scott were gonna be the only ones left, and I was like, okay, this like it'd be like okay, now I know exactly what they're doing. But when they killed her, I was like, yikes.
Not to mention they killed Black Panther too.
Well, I mean,
And it still hurt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's different. That's like I said, I have issues
be back.
with who they killed because it's very obvious that they're
And
not
they
dead.
killed Tom.
But yeah, but other than that, I mean, I have to say like that was one thing. I think that's why the ending cutscenes are cool is because I didn't expect all of them to get clapped. I thought maybe at most 2, but to see all of them get killed, it's like wow, that's very convenient.
They were just like, I don't care, we gonna kill everybody, and then y'all gonna be so surprised when we figure out how they come back.
But I agree with you, JG. Definitely the marketing on this was kind of bullshit because they were like, "Where were they doing?" While the Avengers are basically getting their ass beat.
They were trying to hype it up. They were trying to hype it up a
Yeah.
lot, and I mean, maybe they could have like done something to change it, but again, like with how they did Doctor Strange, because he could have definitely did a lot more and went toe to toe with Thanos and actually used a damn stone for something. They could have watered down Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Janet as well. They could have watered down all of them if they were in there.
They could have done what they did in the first Avengers, where like they showed another Avenger inside of it just as a cameo. I thought that was really cool about the first Ant-Man because it was like, oh wow, holy shit. So I feel like if they had just done something more to tie it to the last Avengers movie, I feel like it would have been better, just like an extra scene or to see actually what was going on simultaneously, like actually see like whether it's like the TV going off showing like what's going on or them making note of it. But because they put them in this isolated bubble as if like they have no knowledge whatsoever of what's happening all around the world, it just makes the movie seem like what the fuck?
It's like, bro, you in San Fran, like you next to Oakland, like come on now, like I know you knew something.
Another, well, keep in mind, San Francisco is also the tech hub of the world too. So like, you mean to tell me you didn't have no technology there? To communicate with
Exactly.
You
nobody?
right next to right next to-
Exactly.
But also like another thing is like what in the next film, in the next Avengers, I guess would be the film, or Captain Marvel.
Captain
like,
Marvel's coming first, yeah.
Are they gonna what does the media address? Because think about it. The media in the world, at least San Francisco, the local San Francisco media and people, they just witnessed this whole crazy thing go down with Ant-Man and the Wasp and Hank and all of them. And then right at the end, a bunch of people disappear. So are they even going to report on that? Or are they going to report on the people disappearing? Like all of it? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it almost made it feel like this movie was pointless because why would you even worried about this man growing in the ocean or in the San Francisco Bay?
Yeah, why does it matter?
Half the San Francisco population just disappeared.
Why is San Fran spending time on a big 50-foot man in the bay compared to oh shit, like aliens are attacking the world again?
This
It
whole
just
movie doesn't matter.
This whole movie is weird. Shit's weird. Something's not right.
Yeah.
It's not American.
So
Not American.
So Captain Marvel, I'm assuming that this one is going to be more important. I'm not going to listen to the critics about that because I got more hype because they said that this one was going to be more important to the next Avengers, but it really wasn't. Yeah, the critics suck. That's why we do these reviews, bro. We tell you how it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not important.
The critics got a point though, because with Captain Marvel, what are they going to explain other than the fact that why she's been hiding since the 90s?
I mean, I feel like though they have to make it important.
Avengers is where she's gonna really make her mark. But as far as her standalone movie, I guarantee you the ending of that movie is going to explain why she was in hiding since the 90s.
So
You know what
feel,
they're gonna
you feel like
do.
they're gonna
They're
bring her in and then just not do anything.
It's gonna be a
other
standalone story like Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's gonna kick whatever villain's ass is. And then at the end,
the whole thing.
at the end, she's gonna be on the couch chilling, hiding in isolation. And then the
What's
phone
up?
call from Samuel L. Jackson comes. I guess I gotta go help the Avengers. And they'll be like, oh, that's who he was calling. I guarantee you that's what's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be wholly pointless to the Avengers except for the
That
last
movie,
5
I feel like that
minutes.
movie's gonna be pointless too.
It's gonna
Oh,
be
shit.
literally what they did with Captain America. They're gonna spend 98% of the entire movie in the past, and then the last 2%, they're gonna be like, oh,
Just to
it's the
freeze his
modern era.
ass.
Yeah, they'll just freeze her, or she's gonna be in the modern age. She's gonna be in space somewhere, or she's gonna be chilling somewhere. Like, oh, well, I guess I gotta try now. Like, it's gonna be some stupid shit like that. I'm almost positive. And then Before Connects will be like, this is the most important thing in the MCU. It's like,
Saying the same shit.
yeah, they'll say the same exact thing.
I hope not, but you guys might be right. We'll have to see, because yeah, man, it was a little bit underwhelming for me, but that'll be the next one that we review in the Marvel MCU, Captain Marvel. So, that being said, man, what did you think about our review on Ant-Man and the Wasp? So let us know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment below on what you think is going to happen in Captain Marvel and what you thought about this one. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon so you can be in videos like Dr. J here, our Patreon backer, go ahead and hit up patreon.com/GI updates so you can be in videos like this, get access to our Discord, have access to a free AAA game, a free indie game, and Lucid Sound headphones every month for our Patreon backers. And you can be a guest on GI Podcast, be a guest on GI Radio, which will be coming back next week, and stuff like that. So make sure you support us if you want more content. Other than that, man, it's been JG, Ethos, Dr. J, H of all trades, and TBH. And we're out. See y'all later.